Welcome. We are out here at Arcana, and I am hanging out with my good friend Felicia Snyder, and they were actually nice enough to allow me to be able to spend the night here in Arcana. So, Felicia, what is Arcana?
Arcana is a bridge between your place and life in the city and your place in nature. We created Arcana to reconnect you with the wild. And to us, the wild means not only the great outdoors, but also the wild within. Everything here is designed to allow you to slow down and to have a chance to focus on your mental health and well-being.
And that totally is. So is that part of, what does Arcana mean? Like, is that part of what you guys have designed into that?
100%. Arcana means secrets or mystery. And to us, one of the most amazing things about nature is the supernatural properties that nature has. And spending time in nature, we know, allows you to de-stress. There's so many restorative properties of nature. And everything we've done here is really designed to encourage you to focus on nature. From the reflective paneling of our cabins that reflects the environment around you, to the design of our interiors.
Because I totally noticed that, and that was actually one of the questions that I had for you is because, like I said, having the pleasure to experience and stay here overnight, one of the initial things that I noticed is when we walked into the cabin was the fact that it's such a sensory experience. Like the smell as you open the door, the smell of the cabin smells absolutely great. All the stuff that you guys have, you know, even for the soaps. Like all of it is a huge sensory, the big window that we have, you know, that basically shows us, you know, you feel like you're in the forest. So this is what they would call a design forward cabin. Is that all part of the experience?
It is part of the experience, and design is really important to us. So one of our partners is award-winning architect Lucky Studios, and we worked with Lucky Studios to create a minimalist interior, but again, that's really focused on drawing you back to the outside. So this to me always reminds me of a portal, right? So the battens kind of take your eyesight and it really directs you to the large picture window where you can focus on the forest.
Because it was absolutely beautiful. So even last night I went on a hike. And I walked down to the river, and then I came back, and as I sat on the bed, which is super comfortable, thank you for that, by the way, what I loved was looking through the tree line and seeing the sunset, and it was absolutely picturesque, smelling the birch, smelling, you know, everything else that was going on, the coffee that I had brewing. So another question is there a optimal time that you guys think that needs to be, that someone should spend experiencing the cabin?
It's a 2-night minimum for a reason. We think you really need 2 full nights here to allow yourself to unwind from the city and again, really gain the benefit of slowing down. We know that time in nature can cause you to have a reduction in your cortisol levels, and again, we want you to leave here feeling restored.
And you realize that that's a tough thing to do, because I went on the nature trail, so I walked out into the forest because they have all these trails, and it took me forever to calm down from just being alone in the forest. It was actually kind of jarring. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I kept looking back, is Mike here? Is Jason Voorhees coming to get me? And then eventually everything settles down.
Well, it's studied. The science says after about 20 minutes, you should really start to feel your heart rate slow down, and you should really start to feel less stress.
I may or may not have cried. I may not have cried. No one can prove that. If you cry in the woods and no one's there to hear you, are the tears real? So.
We may never know.
So, but we want to say thank you for everything. It's been an absolute. I would recommend Arcana for anybody. How do people find out and get in touch with you guys to be able to book?
Findarcana.com, and we've been sold out, but we are dropping our April and May dates today. So go to findarcana.com and book a stay.
All right, and before we leave, I just want to say bye, Felicia.